My dear friends in the risen Christ, in today's first reading taken from the Acts of the Apostles, we see the account of St. Peter and St. John being caught. They were arrested and they were interrogated by the scribes, by the elders, and by the priests. And we know this passage is the continuation of the previous passage wherein we heard about the miracle, wherein we heard Peter healing a crippled man. Yes, these scribes and these chief priests and the elders ask them the question, by whose authority and in whose name do you do all these things? For which Peter courageously and boldly responds, it is none other than by the powerful name of Jesus, whom you have crucified, whom you have put to death, whom God has raised from the dead. And he went about telling about the salvation history one by one. Yes, my dear friends, it is the powerful name of God with which David, the small boy, defeated the great giant Goliath in the Old Testament. And it is this powerful name of Jesus, the God, with which Peter heals this crippled man. And in the gospel reading, we see using this powerful name of Jesus of Nazareth, there are so many healings had taken place. And so many people's lives have transformed using this powerful name of Jesus. We who follow the Lord on His way must also use this powerful name of Jesus in our lives. When we are distressed, when we are put to confusion and fear, when we are frightened because of uncertainties in our lives, when we are faced with difficulties and problems in our life, in our relationships, when we feel that we have nowhere to go, and when we feel that we are almost blocked and that we have no vision ahead, that is the moment wherein we need to utter this powerful name of Jesus in our life, which would bring miracles and wonders in our lives. The Lord will show us the path to move on by using His powerful name. Coming to the gospel reading. In the gospel reading, we see Jesus appearing for the third time to His disciples. And what is the special about this appearance? The previous two appearances were in Jerusalem, but this third appearance of Jesus for His disciples is in Galilee, the Tiberias, close to the Sea of Tiberias. That is Galilee. Yes, that is the difference. And what this appearance had to teach us, it has two messages for us. First, that when after the death of Jesus, the disciples were confused, they were distressed, they did not know what to do. They thought their life is gone, their life is a failure, and they were filled with fear and anxiety. What is going to happen ahead? And at that moment, Jesus appears before them after His resurrection, giving them hope by telling them, fear not. Even this appearance of Jesus to His disciples have not given them enough of courage and strength to move ahead. Because instead of continuing the mission of Christ in their life, these disciples went back to their own professions. They went about doing their own profession, continuing their own jobs in their own places. Especially, most of them are fishermen. They went for fishing. And here, Jesus had to appear once again in order to strengthen them for once and for all, in order to give them enough courage, in order to motivate them to go ahead in proclaiming His message throughout the world. And in order to give them a renewed call for them. And secondly, we can also look at this appearance of Jesus in a different angle. The disciples of Jesus experienced the risen Christ in their lives wherever they went. When they were in Jerusalem, they too, the Lord appears. And even when they moved out of Jerusalem and went to Galilee and their own places, even there the Lord comes and appears before them. Yes, this assures them that not only in Jerusalem, not only in Galilee, but wherever the disciples go, the Lord will always go with them. This is this message the Lord gives us today. Even for us who follow the Lord on His way, is given this assurance that the Lord's presence is with us wherever we go. His assistance is with us. Therefore, we need not to fear anything. Why to fear things when the Lord is with us with His mighty power? And as I was reading, I got a small idea, or I got a small flash through my mind comparing these both the passages in the first reading as well as in the gospel reading. In both the readings, we can infer this word called caught. There is no direct citation of this word caught, but we can infer this word caught in both the readings, first as well as in the gospel reading. Coming to the gospel reading, in the gospel reading, when the disciples caught the whole of fish in their nets, they received sufficient material food for their survival. And in the first reading, when these disciples were caught by, here they caught the fish, and in first reading they were caught, means they were arrested, and there they received eternal food which endures forever. Eternal food which is none other than proclaiming the Christ message wherever it is possible. Here, by being caught by the others, these disciples got the opportunity to proclaim the good news of the risen Christ throughout the world, especially to the great main people of the Jewish tradition. Yes, when we are in distress, when we think that we are caught up, let us also realize this fact that these are the opportunities and the moments the Lord gives us to proclaim His message wherever it is possible. Therefore, let us first and foremost use this powerful name of Jesus in our Catholic living, and let us feel His assistance and His presence with us wherever we go, and let us proclaim Christ wherever it is possibly and gain eternal food, eternal living in our own life. Amen.